Hi, everyone. I'm Aimee Garcia, and I'm joined by the one, the only, the hunk of Hallmark. You all love him, Paul Campbell.
Are you going off script here? Was that written down? Are you
I'm
going off
just,
script?
I'm stating facts. I
Wow,
mean, I'm just
facts.
hunk of
Uh,
Hallmark.
what a lovely introduction. I don't know how to top that. Hello to the charming, effervescent, charismatic, plucky Aimee Garcia. Hi.
Hello. Oh, you all, we are so excited for you to check out our all new movie, The Cases of Mystery Lane Death is Listening, premiering September 13th on Hallmark Mystery.
We are so excited. Honestly, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but it's quite possible this is one of the few sequels in history that's better than the original, right? I think it's pretty good.
I think, let me just say, we had a blast shooting this and we had a lot of belly laughs. So we're really hoping that you all laugh as much as we did while we were shooting because we want to give this gift of belly laughs and sleuthing to all of you.
And you can keep the fake beard, Aimee. That's yours to keep. All right, we got a couple questions that Hallmark Mystery sent our way for us to answer. So, well, let's just dive right into it. Let's get started. Aimee, I say take it away.
Okay, question number one. Birdie and Alden are back as they continue their quest to become private investigators. Now, can you share where we last saw them and how they are honing their skills as detectives?
Oh, coming in with the hard hitting ones right away.
I love it. Well,
Barbara Walters, your heart out. Okay.
right?
Where we leave off, we left off with we had solved the murder of your coworker Tim in the in the first installment. We had solved the murder of that. That was pretty shocking. Like when you sign up to be a private detective and then your first case is like a grisly murder. You're like, I was kind of hoping for like lost wallet or something like that. But no, grisly murder.
Yes.
And I feel like maybe we just sort of took a minute to breathe after that. You know, Bertie and Alden are like, woof, that was a biggie. Hopefully, no more murders because yuck. But, I think, where have we been honing our skills?
Well,
Alden's been
class. The
for
class.
sure.
So, as you all know, Alden is a hobbyist, and he was secretly behind Birdie's back, was taking a private investigator class. So, what happens? Birdie has joined this private investigator class, but they are still rookies.
Right.
They are
Super
little beavers, and you know when you don't know anything, you say you don't know anything, but when you know a little bit, you think you know more than you know. I feel like that's where the cases are at, where they still don't really know what they're doing, but they
I
have
think
they're like, doo, 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 doo.
they've been binging Murder She Wrote.
Yes,
They've been
yes, and
just
Matlock.
watching it on a loop. Jessica Fletcher,
Yeah,
and I think Alden's just been in the home gym working out. Like he's like, I need to get stronger. That's his.
yeah. Let's go with it. I like it.
All right,
Um,
I think we've
okay,
sufficiently destroyed that question. Do you have anything else to add to that one?
no, that's it. Let's move on to numero dos.
Okay, I think that's me. Oh, it is me. My name's right there. Okay. So yeah, our characters have picked up a new hobby of listening to crime podcasts together. Bum bum bum. Without giving too much away, how does this extracurricular activity connect them to their new case? Aimee, I know you know this one.
Well, someone may or may not have been murdered live during a murder podcast.
Yes.
Was I allowed to say that? I don't know if I spilled the beans, but
No.
this is our jumping off point for this new movie.
I think that's a great tease that somebody is murdered and you can Death is listening. I mean, the title is Death is Listening,
Mhm.
and Bertie and Alden can only hear what's going on. So they're coming at the case from audible evidence, and it's really challenging. What a clever story idea! First of all, Joel and Margot are extraordinary writers coming up with this idea. So much fun to play with. It's all about podcasts. Who doesn't love murder podcasts?
Exactly. And a murder on a murder podcast.
Who doesn't love murder? Sorry, no, there's a lot of you. No, I get it. No, you're right.
Okay. Yeah. Number 3. Can you tell he's like, this is our thing. He keeps it fast and loose. I'm like, Okay. So number 3. Not only are our characters on a mission to identify a true crime podcaster killer, but they are also trying to catch a mouse that has invaded their home. How do both challenges help strengthen their marriage? Okay. The real star of this movie, I think Paul can agree, is the mouse. Now, this mouse was played by 6 mice. And I don't know who was
They
this.
were like Dumbo mice, right? Or something like that?
Yes. Well, here's the thing. So it was actually really cute. So the mice all had different personalities. So like one was all about eating. Like he ate cheese like an expert. Anytime there was cheese in front of him, cameras rolling, action, he would dive into that cheese. Yep. Another one was really good at action. I'm not even making this up. And so the action mouse would hear a beep and climb very quickly on cue. It's basically the Tom Cruise mouse.
Yeah.
And the other
mouse in Impossible.
Yeah. And then the other mouse is the one you're talking about. This is what we know as the cute mouse with the really fluffy, floppy Dumbo ears. And he's what we call the face, I guess. But wouldn't you say they like stole the scene? I mean, these mice.
For sure. And to add to that, that mouse was also really good at needlepoint, but we didn't ever get to see that skill set play out. We will have him back because he was such a star. That mouse was like, I'm not a big fan of rodents just in general. If I see them run by, I'm like, no, thank you. But that little guy, you just want to like put him in your pocket. You just want to, he just sits there with these big silly ears and he's so cute. And he just hit his mark every single time. Bit of a diva in the trailer, but
he did. I mean, we may or may not have forgotten our lines because we were just like, oh, this little mouse. They're like, action. We're like, oh, sorry. But yes, to answer the second part of the question, I think them working together, like any relationship, brings them closer together. And Alden comes up with some very creative concoctions for catching said mouse. And Birdie's like this, like, but then eventually learns to compromise, which is important in marriage.
Well, Alden's also a big scaredy cat. So the existence of the mouse sort of throws his world upside down in a really fun way. And Birdie's like, dude, what's your life? But the bigger emotional threat for these two, and again, Death is Listening, a very aptly titled episode. This time, in the first episode, we saw them sort of dealing with some marriage stuff and dealing with having grown apart a little bit, coming back together, and maybe trying to sort of have a fresh start. In this one, we're dealing with them not really listening to each other so much. So the divide is, I don't feel like you're listening to me. You're not listening to me. We're not working as a team. And through the crime solving, and then through trying to catch the mouse, they sort of begin to listen to each other and realize that they're better as a team rather than working as individuals. So there's a little emotional growth there for them too.
Oh, so beautifully put. All right, number 4, Paul, take it away.
Okay, Birdie and Alden are teaming up with Officer Newton again. Has their working relationship evolved since the last case they have worked together? Yeah, he dislikes us even more.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, you have to understand, Birdie and Alden are like goofballs. They're coming up with little jingles. They're getting way too excited and dancing when they can be in the case. And he's a cop trying to do his job. And these guys are just eager beaver, way too excited, and don't follow directions.
No,
Right.
he's very reluctantly paired with us because we have sort of a particular insight, a particular expertise that applies really well to the case, and is kind of like he's kind of left with no choice but to work with these two ding dongs, and
Mhm.
it's just annoyed the whole time, which we just lean into and sort of push as far as we can. Matt Hamilton is really fantastic in the role, and he has a much bigger part in this movie. He's sort of with us throughout, and there's a ton of really funny scenes of us just doing our best to drive him crazy. Successful
Yes. There's a lot of laughter on set, and it was,
laughter on set right
yeah,
here.
like
Full
giggling,
responsibility.
giggling schoolgirls, but that's what work should be. It should be fun.
I,
Um,
I think it plays. All right, who's got this? Number five. Oh yeah, number five. Take it away.
so, as Birdie and Alden narrow down the suspect list, they partake in different activities, including hot yoga and going undercover as salsa teachers. Can we each share a favorite moment we enjoyed while filming? Okay, this going undercover salsa outfit, Paul's outfit is epic. Not only does he rock the mustache and does he rock the hairdo, this low cut shirt of Paul's is so low. It really puts the low and low cut. And there is some bare chest that is exposed. You fans are going to love it. And my favorite part is how excited the actors were watching this, and they were like clapping, they were cheering us on, and they came up to us in their walkers and canes, and they said, "Oh, this was such a fun day at work. You brought us so much joy," which in turn brought Paul and I so much joy. But Paul did not break character. He was such a trooper with yoga, with salsa. It's by far, I think, one of the funnest scenes I've ever done in my entire career.
The salsa scene, I mean, the yoga scene was extraordinary for other reasons, and I'm not going to spoil any of it. There's some outfits that I can't believe we got them into the movie. I can't believe that they let us wear this stuff on Hallmark Channel.
It says, "Who wears short shorts? Paul wears short shorts." That's your tip.
I don't know if they constitute shorts. It's more just like an extra wide belt. It's really short. Um, but the salsa scene, I agree. For me, is right up there with the top favorite scenes I've ever shot in a project ever. And aside from the silly outfits, one of the things that I loved, particularly in the context of our world, is that uh, Birdie doesn't really get. Birdie's really she's the stable one, right? She's more conservative, she's more calculated, but Birdie doesn't really ever let loose and sort of let her, things don't get away from her ever. But in this scene in particular, Birdie kind of gets lost in what she's doing in this insane dance instruction. And it was so joyful. It's Alden that's trying to reel her back in. And to your credit, Aimee, I think the world by now probably knows that I don't really prepare much in advance. I kind of just get in there and go, all right, we can do this. Aimee prepares everything to the nth degree, and it's her superpower. And you had prepared, you kind of already knew what you were going to do in the scene. You came in with this big idea about exactly the dance you were going to do, how it was going to get out of control. You managed to disguise your preparation to make it look spontaneous, which is also a superpower. But the scene would not have been as dynamic, as big, as fun if you hadn't prepared and come in with this huge idea and then executed it so flawlessly. And why it works is because me, the actor, is literally just trying to keep up. I'm like, oh, I didn't prepare anything. Now I have to keep up with superstar Aimee while she executes this insane dance routine. And then it's sort of like art imitating life a little bit. I'm going like, oh man, I'm actually not prepared for this. What do I do? And it's the most joyful, silly, over the top, bananas scene, certainly that I've ever filmed in a Hallmark movie. Truly.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I am very Paul, that's very sweet. It's just very, I really appreciate those kind words. It, and Paul just yes ands. Like he said, I'm very type A. I color in the lines. I'm very prepared. I'm a bit of a apple polisher, straight A student kind of vibe. And Paul's just like, oh, I'm just gonna look at the scene and have my photographic memory, just remember it. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? And meanwhile, me on the weekends, I'm like, pacing. I'm like, okay, I can do this. I'm just like, working at it and working at it. And Paul is just so effortless in his ability to improv and yes and come up with something new on the spot. And he's just has such a good sense of play that it's just really fun. Like I really hope that you all laugh and fill your hearts with joy, because it's one of those scenes that's just silly and fun. And to me, that's what the best entertainment does. It makes you laugh, it makes you roll your eyes, and that's kind of what Margot and Joel, our writers, just gave us license to be these goofballs. I mean, they have the most eccentric hobbies, and I think as you stay married, you get like goofier and quirkier, because you just kind of build your own little world with your spouse. And so I think they've done that beautifully. And anyway, really, to full circle back, Paul's low cut V is what we're looking for here.
Naval officer. It's down. It's low.
It's low.
A lot of spray tanner had to go on. Let's just say that.
Yes.
All right. Well, we thoroughly answered that question. Ooh, this one's for me. It's like Christmas in your year. It's like gifts are being handed out. Ooh, this one's for Paul.
Mm-hmm.
The movie revolves around a crime podcast. If Bertie and Alden had the opportunity to record their own show, what would the premise be of the podcast?
I think it'd be very. Or go ahead. What were you gonna say?
You had a thought there.
I had a thought. I think it would be very hobby forward, because Bertie plays poker, Alden plays with robots.
Oh, he's right there.
This guy. So I think he would be your co-host. Is what I would, our little like sidekick. But I think the cases are goofy, so I think the podcast would have to have a little bit of goof. But in the same way they say, don't mistake kindness for weakness, don't mistake goof lack of investigation skills, because it's part of their goof that I think makes them so disarming. And so people feel like they're talking to friends, and in talking to friends, maybe they drop a clue, maybe they say something that they wouldn't want to say that might incriminate them. So I think their superpower as a team is how disarming they are. They just act like they've been your best friends forever.
I think I was trying to think of clever names for the podcast. The only one that I came up with was Balden, and I realized that's not a good name for a podcast. It sounds like they're losing their hair. That's their power couple name, Balden. I think maybe they have a lot of insight about relationships, making successful relationships with two people who are really polar opposites. Truly different, and being able to celebrate those beautiful idiosyncrasies rather than roll their eyes. That's and maybe, but I also think, like, because they're both kind of nerdy, I think there would probably be like an amateur sleuthing podcast, like sleuthing for beginners, or Gumshoe 101, something like that, where they're like, follow along on our journey to develop these skill sets. And what Alden lends to it is so different from what Bertie lends to it. They both have very different perspectives. I think they could put together a really fun podcast, which actually feels like something maybe we should just do anyway. It's just do, like, as Bertie and Alden in character, do a podcast in character as Bertie and Alden on something. I don't know. We'll talk off camera.
Yeah. Look, we're creating right here.
Yeah.
No, I like that. I like that they're just not good at it. They're not professional detectives. I love that they're not, she's a lawyer and a secret online poker player, and he's a builder, hobbyist, trying to find his way. He's an adventurer. And so I think it's like, to your point, they're so different, but they learn from each other. She learns to not be, excuse me, not be so uptight. And he learns, I think, to maybe follow the rules a little more because they're there for a reason.
A little bit.
That's sleuthing, yeah, sleuthing rookies or something. There's something there. I like where your head's at.
Yeah, rookie sleuth.
Yeah. Okay. Ooh, last question.
Keep the train rolling.
Okay, Bertie Alden and Officer Newton encounter different twists and turns as they investigate their suspects. Can we each give a clue the viewers should be on the lookout for as they sleuth along while watching?
Ooh, this is going to be because there's a big clue. There's a really big that we certainly don't want to talk about.
Right.
A clue.
I would say this is very broad, but I would say pay attention to what the characters do, not what they say.
Interesting.
And I'm going to stop talking because I'm going to spill the beans.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, like, I don't want to say anything. I don't have anything that I feel like doesn't sort of give it away. Pay attention to Gary. It was him.
Yeah. Gary.
Pay really close attention to Gary, the killer. I don't know. It's not Gary. There's no one named Gary. Wait, is it? Aimee, is it Gary? Did I just...
Gary. No, they did a great job. I mean, the writers are awesome, and there's a lot of, like you said, twists and turns and pivots and whatnot. So,
hey, audience, pay attention to everything. Huh?
Exactly.
This is why so I can still do that.
There you go. I can't do one at a time. Can you do that? Can you do one eyebrow at a time? I can't do one eyebrow at a time. Oh, can you guys do one eyebrow at a time? I can't do that.
Hey, audience, could you do one eyebrow at a time?
Could you do one eyebrow at a time? I wish I could see them. I could see what percentage can do it. Because I cannot. Okay, I can't believe it. I think we're done with all of our questions.
We're gonna play a little game, right?
Yes, we are.
I don't know what it's called. On here, it just says game.
It's called Guess the Character Game.
Oh yeah.
Yes. And with only a few clues, who could it be? Guess along with us in the comments.
Okay.
Please, Paul.
Okay. Clue number 1. I make delicious snickerdoodle cookies.
Officer Newton.
Newton doesn't. Aimee, you know the answer. This is for the fans. You know.
Right. That was just a red herring.
Clue number 2. I love attending book club.
Kate, the influencer young professor. No.
Okay. No, it's you know who we're talking about. He doesn't attend. For the fans. I love attending book club. Okay.
Yeah.
I am known for trespassing, or trespassing as they say elsewhere.
Alden Case.
Alden is known for trespassing. But it's not him. No.
Yeah. Alden is known for trespassing.
You in the movie. You've read the script. How are you not getting this?
I know. No, you're right.
I make delicious snickerdoodle cookies. I love attending book club. I am known for trespassing. Who am I?
Let me just twirl my fake mustache.
You know the answer to this. You're not.
No. Okay, should we both say it on 3?
1,
2,
2,
3.
3.
Wait, is it 1, 2, 3 answer or 1, 2 answer?
1, 2, 3 answer.
Answer. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Peter, Laurel St. James' husband.
Peter, it's old Sneaky Pete.
Yeah, see how in sync we are as Bertie and Alden case. Just
I delayed. I delayed it a little bit because I was worried if we spoke at the same time, the audio would cut out and then nobody would hear the answer. So you said Peter, and then I was like, Peter, because it would be really funny if we both went and the audio would just cut out. Anyway, yeah, it's old Snickerdoodle Peter.
Yes. High five.
Thank you guys. We're gonna wrap it up. That was really fun, and we've taken up probably more of your time than you anticipated. So we're gonna wrap this up in a tidy little bow. Thank you guys for joining us, for hanging out with us for this 35 or 40 minutes. And
Yes.
we cannot wait for you to watch the premiere of our new movie, Cases of Mystery Lane. Death is Listening. Aimee, when is it airing?
Oh, I believe it's Friday the 13th, 9/8 Central on Hallmark Mystery.
That's right.
What else can they do, Paul?
Tweet along with us while you watch and use the hashtag The Cases of Mystery Lane.
Yay. All jokes aside, though, we had a blast shooting this. We really hope it radiates through the screen. We hope you have fun. We hope that you have brain puzzles going on in your head. And we hope you have a lot of aha moments. And we just cannot wait to share this movie with you all and can't wait to hear what you think.
We're really proud of it. Yeah, we're excited for you to see it.
Yep.
Thanks.
Yay. Thanks, everyone.